think with the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back the baby in his plate.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going to try to get one more shot off the air. Push the buzzer.
How about that?
Steps over Toronto. He thought about three. He'll put up a three.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Boom Broadcasting presents Three from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show, everybody. Brand new week. Happy Monday. Coming off of the Father's Day weekend. I hope all you dads out there had a fun and exciting weekend. Got to relax, watch some sports, kind of was pampered a little bit, so hopefully you enjoyed it. So, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Jason Colenso. This is Three from Deep. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. Where the heck have you been the whole season? I'm kidding. So, but thank you guys for joining me here. It has been a long season. We are getting close, man. We're winding down. We got Game 5 tonight of the NBA Finals. We have the hot stove NBA trades heating up, and we'll get to that here pretty soon. And next week, we got the NBA draft coming up. So it has been a pretty long and fulfilling NBA season here, kind of coming to an end here. And then, of course, we ramp back up October, November, etc. So, man, thank you guys. I appreciate you being here on Monday. I know Mondays are usually a rough, but, you know, we deal with it. We go to work. We do what we got to do, and then we move on. So first things first, before we get into that Game 5, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, man, we had our first big blockbuster trade of the offseason. Yes, they were calling it a blockbuster. I'm saying it's kind of mid-range, but still a good trade nonetheless. It looks like Desmond Bane of the formerly Memphis Grizzlies is now going to the Orlando Magic. It was a heck of a trade. Desmond Bane, only 26 years old. And I thought that was kind of sneaky. I think Desmond Bane, I thought he was in his like 30s. But 26 years old, averages 20 points a game, which is fantastic. 5 rebounds a game, 4.3 assists, and 1.1 steals a game. 3-point shooting average of 41%, which is really good. Anything over 40% to me is solid. So overall, a really, really good, solid player to fit onto that Orlando Magic team, man. So I mean, that is a huge addition for Orlando Magic. Look, Orlando Magic had a pretty decent season last year, 41-41. Had the injury bug bite them, and I really believe if the injury bug had not bit them, they would have been a much better team and had more wins. But with Paulo going down early and then Franz going down, I think that really hurt their momentum. But still, even after all of that, to make the playoffs, gave Boston a couple of good shots, but could not get past the defending champions in that first round. But you go and join Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs. Now you put Desmond Bane on that team. East. You better start doing some things, because I think the Orlando Magic have a real chance to make some noise next year. Knock on wood. Pending that they stay healthy, but that is a heck of an addition. So now you're adding another scorer, another guy that can get you rebounds and assists. And again, I think he plays more mature than what he really is. Like I said, I took a look at it, and he's like 26. I'm like, man, Desmond Bane, I feel like he's been in this league forever. I feel like he's a little more mature than that. But, I mean, he's still a young cat. So great pickup, Orlando. So let's talk about this trade, though. Okay, so Orlando gets Desmond Bane, but they gave up a pretty decent amount for him, too. Cole Anthony, Contavious Caldwell Pope, 4 first-round picks, the 16th pick in 2025, unprotected in 2026, 28 and 30, a 29 first round pick swap, to top two protected. Some of this protected, unprotected stuff, it kind of gets a little confusing. But that's a heck of a haul for Desmond Bane. Look, I think he's a really, really good player. He is a solid guy. I think he is going to do some magical things on that Magic team with Paulo and Franz and Suggs. Now you put him on there, who is a solid scorer every game. He's really, really consistent, which I love. I think consistency, to me, is the most important thing you can find when you're looking for somebody that is not a complete superstar. You know, you got your superstar guys out there. You got your top 10, 15 guys that are just that move the needle. After that, you got to have those consistent guys, those guys that you can have come in and play in an 82 game season, and you know they're going to give you points, they're going to give you rebounds, they're going to give you assists, they're going to be in the game. And Desmond Bane is one of those guys who is in the game all the time, which is so that is really going to help the Orlando Magic here. But man, 4 first round picks. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, of course. If you haven't joined me before, I'm a huge, huge Knicks fan. And, you know, we gave 5 first round picks for Mr. Malik Bridges, which I thought was suspect. But, man, these NBA teams throw around picks like they're just pennies. Like, okay, I'll give you 10 first round picks. Let's just make it happen. So I thought that was pretty crazy to give 2 players and 4 picks for one guy. He's a good guy. But to me, when you see a trade like this, man, what do you think Giannis is going to command if he ever announces he wants to get out of there? You know, I heard some of the stories about the Suns want 10 first round picks for Kevin Durant. And I think about that stuff. I'm like, 36-year-old Kevin Durant, you're gonna hog tie your team for 10 years on that? So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Guys, if you got some answers for me, shoot me a line and your theories on why the NBA does not value draft picks, say like the NFL does. The NFL values those draft picks. Sometimes it's hard to kind of just, you know, pull those draft picks out of certain teams' hands, and I think they value them a little bit more. But the NBA, they just throw second round picks and first round picks around like it's nothing. So it's pretty interesting to me. But a heck of a first hit, our first big trade of the year. It was a good one. I think that made Orlando leaps and bounds better than they were last year. So that's awesome. I think they made it a couple of. Blah 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 blah. Excuse me. I think they need to make a couple of more moves to really solidify that lineup. I think they need to get a little bit deeper in the bench, because right now, if the NBA playoffs and these finals have shown us anything, is that, man, bench play is crazy, crazy important. Look at Indiana's bench. Look at Oklahoma City's bench. This is the tale of this finals, and we'll get to that here in a minute. So, yes, Orlando, great move. Solidify the bench, and you'll have a team that is going to really compete in the East next year. Knock on wood again, barring any injuries. And what does this say for the Grizzlies? I've been thinking about that too ever since the trade went down. You get Cole Anthony, you get Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who has won a chip, who is a solid role player. I think he could pair well with Ja. But Memphis, you know, moving on from Bane, trying to make some moves. Will we see Ja in this thing? Do they want to give him the max contract? And that's my biggest question this offseason, because, you know, we got a lot of guys moving. And I think the Luka trade, especially after all the fallout, kind of ripped the Band-Aid off for a lot of these teams going, well, maybe we can trade our mega superstar, but get more for it. Because, of course, I think LA stole him. I think Dallas. I mean, look, Desmond Bane just got 4 first-round picks and 2 solid players. The Mavericks got AD, a first-round pick, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and not even the good peanut butter, like the bootleg peanut butter. So, pretty curious about that. But now I think teams are going, well, maybe we can get a haul for our one guy. So that's why I think Memphis, if Ja's not the answer, he has his suspect past. We saw some maturity from him this year, but when Taylor Jenkins left, he went back off kind of the deep end and started doing Ja things, which was pretty disappointing because throughout the year and some of his interviews and some of the way he was kind of holding himself to becoming a little bit better, he started doing that and then went off the deep end. He also has a lot of injury issues too. So I'd be interested to see what the Grizzlies do this offseason with Ja. If they can get a haul for him and rebuild, get a new coach, rebuild. Because I don't know. Are you going to give him a max contract with the suspect past and some of the things he does, the immaturity and the injury concerns? Because even with the kind of immaturity that he has, and you see this a lot in every sport, when someone becomes a superstar and really produces, they kind of look past a lot of that stuff. But some of the things you can't look past is availability, which to me is insane. But if you're not available, I think teams look at that more than they do, oh, I can deal with some of the off-court things. We can handle some of that, but you getting hurt? I can't handle that. So it'll be interesting seeing what Memphis does. I don't know if this move means something deeper, rebuild, or if this was just a deal to get some draft capital, get a couple extra guys, maybe go out and make another move, that, KD is now floating around and now you got 4 first round picks to play with. So, maybe this was something like that. Hey, let's stack up. Let's build what we got and build our assets. And then now let's go out and spend them again. So Memphis, guys, we got to keep an eye on Memphis here. That's going to be interesting seeing what they do. But man, Orlando, great job. Desmond Bane, he's going to pay dividends. East, watch out for them Magic. And then we had a little bit of a signing the last couple of days here. Looks like the Rockets are shoring up Steven Adams. 3-year, $39 million contract for the 31-year-old center. Of course, this is unofficial because like the free agency stuff and signings doesn't really start till July. I think June 30th and ends, and then July. But the 11-year vet showed up and had some toughness in the playoffs, was integral. And that whole run that the Rockets had, man, those Houston Rockets are a great team to watch. Man, they are youthful, exciting, second in the West. And man, we know how tough the West is. So for the Rockets to have that kind of season is saying something really, really loud. Steven Adams, and I think it's more than what he averages. I mean, he averages 4 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, but I think he's a little more of a glue guy, especially like when you talk about veteran presence, locker room, on the court, the playoffs. He was integral in the playoffs. He's that guy that's got your back. So 3 years, $39 million seems like a lot, which again, when you look at some of these NBA contracts, you go, whoa, but you got to remember there's only, 8-10 players on a squad officially that they're paying. So the money is different. Whereas you look at the NFL, you got a 52-man roster, so the money getting split up is a little bit different. So you think 3 years, $39 million is a lot of money, but you're getting a solid NBA veteran. You're getting a big center because in the West, man, you got to be tall. The West is a very tall very long. Just you need to be tall in the West with the centers that they got there, with Nikola Jokic, with Victor Wembanyama, with Rudy Gobert. You have this length in the West there. Chet Holmgren, in the finals right now. So you got to be tall, and I think this helps the Rockets out. It just locks down another guy for them. I think they are just like that one piece. I really, really would love to see them get Kevin Durant and not give up 10 first-round picks for him. Don't ruin the next 10 years of your franchise. But I would love to see Kevin Durant on that Rockets. I think that would put the Rockets over the edge and contend for a championship, as long as you don't have to get rid of Green and some of those other guys. So, hot stove in the offseason, it's percolating a little bit. We're, of course, waiting for the big boom. We're waiting for the Kevin Durant. We're waiting to see what happens with Giannis. We're waiting to see what else goes down. A lot of teams talking out there. Like I said, watch out. The Wolves are going to be active. Don't sleep on the Boston Celtics. I think they're going to really be active this offseason, especially not having Jason Tatum there for all next year. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes down. So we're excited. Offseason. And I will be here in the offseason from 3 from Deep. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but I'm probably going to go down to one show a week on Mondays in the offseason. Now that football is going to start ramping up, I also do a fantasy football podcast called Sideline Savants. So watch out for that. All you football fanatics out there and all you fantasy football fanatics, I'll be rocking that coming up here pretty soon. So just get prepared. But 3 from Deep is not going anywhere. We're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue to give you some of the hot takes and hot news in this off season. So, and I'll give you kind of my thoughts and feelings on it too. So, but guys, tonight, Game 5, NBA Finals. Here we go. 2-2. Next 3 games are, if we get to 3. To me, tonight's game is probably the most important game of this series. I would have thought it Friday, but, still alive 2-2. It could swing either way. But Friday night's game, Oklahoma City weathered the storm and put that thunderclap down on the Indiana Pacers. I don't know how they won that game. They won 111-104. For 3 quarters, man, Indiana had that game. I thought it was a wrap. I'm like, man, Indiana's going to come in here. They're punching the prohibitive favorites in the mouth. They're going to win this thing. But then the fourth quarter, SGA showing why he's the MVP, doing what a superstar needs to do. 15 of his 35 points in the fourth quarter to seal the deal. Oklahoma City went on a 16-7 run to end the game. And Indiana, they fell flat. They looked tired. Their offense was completely out of sync. And a lot of their guys just kind of went off the deep end. Look, Halliburton only had eight points in the fourth quarter. He ended up with 18 points. Again, guys keep wanting to build Halliburton into something he's not. Look, he's a really good player. He's one of those guys that can pop on you and drop, 25 to 30, but he's not. If you get 15 to 20 out of him, that's good. I don't like the offense running through him because he is so inconsistent. And I think that's what hurt them in this game. Pascal Siakam, no points in the fourth quarter. To me, he is the most important player on that team. You got a champion. He knows how to win. He's your veteran. He's been in these situations, and he gets no points in the fourth quarter. That offense needs to run through him. I'm sorry, Tyrese Halliburton is not the answer. He's a good player. He is not a superstar. SGA doing what he did in the fourth quarter to rally his team from being down in the den in the Lions' den of Indiana's home court to come back and win that game, that hurt Indiana really, really bad. Because now you have Game 5 in the Thunderdome. But, man, Pascal Siakam, no points in the fourth quarter. Turner, 2 points. Nebhard, 2 points. Neesmith, 2 points. And Mathurin, 1 point. And Mathurin was, man, Game 3, Mathurin was a beast off the bench, 27 points. He was and has been in this playoffs a absolute stud for that bench. Again, I talked about it earlier with talking about the Orlando Magic and how important bench depth is in the NBA right now. And you're seeing that with both of these teams. You're seeing that in bench points. That's how Indiana crushed OKC in that third game with 49 points off the bench. And that's how Oklahoma City won this game, not just because of SGA, but they had some bench points, some bench players that came in and gave them some points. But Mathurin, he wants to throw that game away, man. 1 point in the fourth quarter. 2 really, really bad fouls away from the ball, which not only gave Oklahoma City the ball, gave them some free throws. It just killed their momentum to get back in the game. Because, again, Indiana is all about pace of play. This stop-start doesn't help their offense, and I think that's really, really what screwed them up in that game is that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, their offense looked horrible. Pascal Siakam wasn't involved. They weren't playing their game. They were almost punch drunk when Oklahoma City started coming back, when SGA started doing his thing. They fell and didn't have an answer for it. But this is going to be important for both teams. Pivotal. Oklahoma City, you got to hold home court. You cannot lose again at home. You do not want to go back to Indiana down 3-2. That will be a tough game to win. Because I talked about it before, Indiana has gotten some great bounces in these playoffs. And you don't want to hold your future and your championship aspirations on. Hopefully they don't get a ball that bounces their way. So, Oklahoma City, SGA, this is your game to go out and show you're an MVP and that you are that guy. You are in the top 5. You need to start putting me in there. I need to be in some of the best basketball players on the planet conversation. This is going to be it. These next 2 games that Oklahoma City needs to win to secure the championship, SGA needs to be the 30-plus. He needs to be that dude. If he wants to be in that conversation of top 5 players on the planet, this is his time. Crucial. And that Thunderdome is going to be rocking, man. That Oklahoma City Thunder, they lost to Indiana. They were undefeated at home. Because that's a tough building to play in because Oklahoma, there's not much to do. So, when basketball is playing, everybody's going to show up and there's not much to do. We're going to do hang out with the cows in Oklahoma. I'm not from Oklahoma, so I've never been. I'd like to go one day and check it out. I just don't like tornadoes and that whole kind of thing, but that's a whole nother subject. But that Oklahoma City stadium is going to be rocking. Chet Holmgren needs to show up. Jalen Williams needs to show up. He needs everybody, but the most important thing is that bench. He needs to get players off that bench to come in and get them. And I tell you what, man, when SGA rested, and I think I said the third quarter in the last show, I believe it was the first quarter that they rested him. So I believe I was wrong. I apologize about that. But the rest that SGA got in that last game, in that Friday night game, when normally he doesn't sit, I think was crucial. And I think was the ticket that helped SGA in the fourth quarter drop 15 points. Shai needs that rest, and I think I would be surprised if they did not do that again, especially if they're up or have a lead. Sit SGA for 5-7 minutes, let them get a rest, some of those TV timeouts. So this way, when it comes to fourth quarter and you need to lock it down and you need to win the game, he's not running out of gas because Indiana runs so much. They run up and down the court. Again, guys, when you watch these finals, it's like watching soccer. It's nonstop. They're just up and down. There is no just like stop, half court offense, like, really slow. And there's no ISO ball. Everybody's not just standing around. Everybody's moving. That's what killed them in the fourth in this last game because it wasn't their game. And I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see some of the things in this game 5 on who does what. How does Indiana's defense come back? Do these guys, Turner, Nebhard, Nesmith, Siakam, Matherin, do these guys show up? And that Indiana bench, do they come out hot? TJ McConnell coming off the bench, the little spark plug, the little engine that could. Giving all those white guys hope. I like it. But tonight, pivotal. Oklahoma City. You need to win this whole home court. Indiana. Pivotal for you too. Can you come in to Oklahoma City and steal another one and put the pressure back on Oklahoma City? Because then you get to go home up 3-2, where and you've shown that you can play, that you can take a lead at home, and you can win as long as your bench players show up, as long as you guys show up, and as long as Halliburton scores 20 points. I don't know what it is. Halliburton needs to score 20. 18, they lose. 20, they win. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But Indiana, you need this game. Oklahoma City, you need this game. And I think Oklahoma City needs it worse. They cannot go down 3-2 and go back to Indiana with Indiana smelling blood. Oklahoma City wins tonight. Not saying they could take a deep breath, but at least they know Game 7, they can play that at home. So I think that just kind of gives you a little bit of breather. I don't think it goes to Game 7. I think Oklahoma City wins tonight. And I think Oklahoma City goes on the road in Game 6 and takes care of business. But Thursday night is Game 6. Tonight, Game 5. Who shows up? Who's going to be the star of the game? Is it going to be SGA? Is Halliburton going to show up? Is Siakam going to show up? What's going to happen? So we'll see. And we'll talk about it on Wednesday. I'm excited, guys. This is going to be a great game tonight. So, and then real quick, I want to touch on my New York Liberty. Amazing game on Saturday. Guys, if you're not tuning into the WNBA, you need to. These ladies are fantastic. They are playing some incredible basketball. But, man, the New York Liberty versus the Indiana Fever. Indiana basketball. We're going to talk about that. Caitlin Clark coming back in the Commissioner's Cup game. Liberty handed their first loss of the season. They are now 9-1. They were 9-0. Now, Jonquel Jones did not play, so I got to throw that in there because they really are missing her. I think she is amazing. She's 13 points, 10.5 rebounds, almost 3 assists a game. The New York Liberty were missing that. As Ionescu, she went off 34 points. Breanna Stewart got her 24 points. But the Fever, they fed off of Caitlin Clark. They won 102-88. Clark, 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 7 3-pointers, and she was not just shooting regular 3-pointers, guys. You got to watch her. It's insane. She is the Steph Curry of the WNBA. She shoots from the logo, and not just like their State Farm commercial. I mean, she literally shoots from out there. She's at 30 plus feet. It is crazy, some of the things that she can do on the basketball court, and she moves the needle. It's amazing. That game was packed, sold out, and it was raucous because it was a good game. And not just that, again, Caitlin Clark for the WNBA has been insane, what she has brought to basketball as a whole. But New York Liberty got to bounce back here, but that was a heck of a win for the Fever. And nice to see Caitlin Clark back because, of course, she missed some games there. But man, guys, if you're not watching these NBA finals, you're missing out. If you're not watching the NBA, you're missing out. Because right now we are seeing in the NBA, we're seeing two top teams at the top of their game playing some really, really solid and really good basketball. WNBA, you're seeing these ladies playing some really, really solid, really exciting basketball. So get out there and watch. You also got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals going on right now, man. The Florida Panthers, whew, they look tough. It looks like Canada is back on its heels again. I think they may be shut out from the Cup again. Panthers looking to go back to back. So hockey in full swing because, guys, there's a lot of great sports going on here, man. And you got to be watching. So thank you guys very much for joining me here. Exciting game tonight. Make sure you're checking out Game 5. I'll be back on Wednesday to talk about it. We'll see who I'm going to talk good about, and we'll see who I'm going to trash. So thank you guys very much for joining me. I'm Jason Colenso. This is 3 from Deep. I'll see you back on Wednesday. Again, I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Peace.